Welcome to the FI Newscast. I'm Susan Choi. In this episode, we explore the latest in food innovations with our special guest, Nolan Lewin of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. But first, let's cover the top stories for this week. Some overall economic news to start with. Inflation remains steady as it rose 3.1% year over year in November on an unadjusted basis, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Food price inflation was reported at 2.9%, with food away from home rising 5.3% and at-home food prices up 1.7% during the period. Meanwhile, the Federal Open Market Committee announced it would be keeping the prime rate steady at 5.25 to 5.5 for the third straight meeting. After 2 years of challenges, Domino's is proving to be resilient. The pizza maker is already reporting its fourth quarter to be a successful one so far. Both same-store sales and transactions on delivery orders are up. And the company is estimating that a typical location could be earning up to 15% higher in EBITDA this year compared to last year. So what improved things for Domino's? They say a focus on tighter operations was a big reason. For example, improving commodity costs and delivery times, as well as employing an automatic dough stretcher to cut down on pizza making time. Other reasons included hiring more staff and raising menu prices. Over in farming, concerning news for Cal-Maine Foods. The egg producer has temporarily halted operations at its Kansas facility after they discovered traces of avian flu in their midst. About 684,000 hens, or almost 2% of its total flock, has been affected. Cal-Maine says their findings are not cause for public health concern and do not harm their immediate supplies. Domestic avian flu cases have been on the rise since October of this year. Industry experts have cited the presence of wild birds to be the cause. In retail, some interesting results in a study of American store sizes. The Wall Street Journal reports that according to data firm CoStar Group, the average retail space comes in at 3,200 square feet, the smallest amount of store space it's ever been since 2006. Analysts have cited the skyrocketing rise of e-commerce and a growing disconnect for larger big box stores as the reasons for this trend. CoStar Group also found that food and beverage companies in particular have been going for brick and mortar spaces. They've signed almost 1/5 of all retail leases this year. And in the delivery space, DoorDash has released a list of the top grocery orders for 2023. Produce ruled the first 5 places. The most ordered item? Bananas. Roma tomatoes and strawberries were in the next spots, followed by cucumbers and cilantro. DoorDash revealed some other interesting stats, including the fact that late-night orders, those placed between midnight and 5 a.m., increased by 36% year over year. Because of this, the company is now predicting that 2024 will be the year of late-night snacking. Moving right along from snacking to innovation, coming up with creative solutions for the consumer is always a goal for food companies. And what better guest to talk about innovation with than Nolan Lewin, Executive Director of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. Nolan, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure is all ours. We at the Food 𝗟𝗄 are always great fans of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. Thanks again for being here. Let's get right into it. Okay, so Nolan, you are an expert when it comes to the food and beverage industry. Please tell us, what are the key trends to look out for when it comes to food and beverage in 2024?
Well, for the past several years, as everyone realizes, plant-based everything has been a really hot topic. So plant-based chicken nuggets, plant-based meat alternatives. But the problem has always been the taste factor. A lot of the times people don't realize that people will look at trying to save the planet and save the water, and but the taste factor has always been kind of lagging behind all these trends. So what we're seeing now is a transition in flavor profiling. They really want to make sure that not only is it good for the planet, but it actually is something that's good to eat and tastes good too. We continue to see new types of products coming along in mycelium or mushroom-based products. So that's a really hot topic and trend. Anything with protein, alternative proteins to the meat and poultry options are really still viable. Soy and wheat and lentil and pea proteins are still very hot in the trends coming in food and beverage. We continue to see collagen being an ingredient being put into different types of drinks and different types of food products. So it's still a very active environment, even though a lot of the funding has started to dry up a little bit. There's still a lot of action out there.
Okay, let's get into the what you are in charge of, the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. There is sort of been a rebranding going on. Can you tell us about that? It's the new 𝗟𝗲𝘁, so to speak, its new mission, its new purpose. Tell us what any updates that have been going on with the center.
Yeah, so we actually have an advisory board for the first time in many years here, and we've teamed up with some really influential and powerful people in the food and beverage space. Peggy Brennan who's actually my boss at Rutgers, is on the board. 𝗟𝗶𝘂𝘁, who was the previous executive director here at Rutgers. He's currently the CEO and president of Blue Nalu, which is a cell aquaculture company based in San Diego. Andy Ghellett from the Ghellett Global Group, otherwise known as Atalanta and Typico. Brian Choi from Food Institutes also sits on the board. We've got a really great advisory board. They've offered a lot of assistance to us in the past year that we've been working together actively with them. But we also have a lot of new things that we're looking at, including our soft landings program, as it was called in the past, where we actually encourage international companies to come into the United States, specifically to our center here in Bridgeton or to the New Jersey area. And we're putting a new initiative behind that in order to let the world know that, New Jersey and the U.S. food and beverage markets are open and available for them to come and explore. A lot of companies in Europe and in Southeast Asia and Africa aren't aware of how to get into the market here. And that's where we can be a valuable resource for them in terms of pointing them in the right direction with New Jersey EDA or Choose NJ, Choose New Jersey, associations, small business action centers. We are affiliated with all of them in some way, and we're able to help point people in the right direction when it comes to coming into the U.S. marketplace.
Nolan, to summarize, what you guys do at the Rutgers Food Innovation Center, which is so important, offering the services that you do to, to startups, food and beverage company startups looking to test their products, right? Looking to improve upon their products, for businesses in that, R&D stage. They need a space, to test their developments. They need a space they need guidance, which you guys offer. Tell us what are the benefits, to being a part of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. I know you guys have some, new things coming up in 2024, the ambassador program, sponsorship program. Tell us more about those things.
Sure. Well, first, let me just say that for people who've never heard of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center, this is an incredible resource, an incredible facility. We are located in very far South Jersey in Bridgeton. About as far south as you can go in the middle part of New Jersey, toward the southern end. But it is very unique in terms of its capabilities and what we're able to do. As you mentioned, we have different types of manufacturing capabilities here. We are a USDA and FDA certified facility. We have our own bottling line, so we're really good at doing acidified food products, teas, jellies, jams, sauces, etc. Food safety and food defense, also very big factors for us and what we're able to do. The ambassador program that we've set up here, or beginning to set up, we really are looking for people who are industry veterans and industry experts like ourselves, who can offer insights, can talk about us to other people that they meet in the industry. The food and beverage space is large, but it's also very small. We get to know a lot of the people across industry standards. And the newsletter program that we're just going to be starting up as well, in association with that, will give insights as to some of the things that we're working on, the projects that we're working on on a monthly basis. We will bring to the forefront some of the newer tenants that are coming into our building, and we have 3 new clients that are actually going to be working in the building. And those people, we automatically recruit them as ambassadors. So anyone who's working with us, we ask them to talk about us when they're presenting.
Very exciting stuff. I want to ask you, Nolan, finally, as an industry veteran, as an expert helping, many clients, while you've been at the center, develop their products, what's the best piece of advice you could give right now to our viewers watching, when it comes to, innovating, when it comes to developing, a product? What's, top level? What's the first thing that comes to your mind, if you want to think of just one piece of advice that you could give that you think companies need to know?
I think first and foremost, people need to do their homework. I think a lot of people enter the food and beverage space not knowing who their competitors are, or even who their base customers are going to be. And just Google searching the product that you're thinking about doing is really important to make sure you know who's out there and what they're doing and how they're doing it. But also to understand that you can't do another same as other products that are out there in the space. There has to be something authentic or unique to set yourself apart from the competitors that you're going to be going up against. And if you think about walking to a supermarket and looking at the shelves in the space where you were thinking of being, I would do that and say, okay, what's their price point? What makes them unique? What makes their label stand out? Before you've even had a taste of the product, those are the most critical things you can look at.
Well said. I think that's very sound advice indeed. Nolan Lewin, Executive Director of the Rutgers Food Innovation Center. Nolan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Now let's take a look at what's ahead in the coming days. On Thursday, December 21st, the Conference Board releases latest numbers on leading economic indicators for the U.S. And on Friday, December 22nd, the University of Michigan releases the latest on its Consumer Sentiment Index. A quick note, you can check out all the great content that we've done by clicking on this playlist. Till next time, I'm Susan Choi. Take care and have a great weekend.